Hey guys, Miss Young back at you again. We're going to have one more spreadsheet in this little tiny collection, and this one is about depreciation. Okay, so we should get that spreadsheet going. We'll just get my face out of the way. So we've got our spreadsheet. You can see here I have labeled it Depreciation Calculator. Here are our initial bits and pieces of information. And down in row 6 this time is where we're going to put some headings. So in this first one, I am going to put the year. In the second one, the word depreciation. So this will be the actual depreciation amount and new value. So we're going to do a couple of things here. First of all, I'm going to make all of this bold. I'm going to make all that bold. And then I'm going to make these three here centered. All right, so one of the things I need to do or would like to do is I'd like to make my columns a little bit wider. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the three columns that we're using. So A, B, and C. You can see they're highlighted here. I'm going to hover over the gap between two of my columns. And you can see there I have a double-sided arrow. I'm going to left click and hold. I'm just going to drag that to make that column wider. When I let go, all the columns are now wider. I can click out of that. Now I can't play with the three columns at once anymore. This row here, the words depreciation rate, it's still not quite big enough for those, but what I want to do for this one is I want to merge these two. Right? I want to merge these two. So in here, we are going to find our merge. You can see our merge tool over here. And I'm going to merge horizontally. In Excel, it will look a little bit different. You will have options such as merge and center. Please don't merge and center, just straight up merge. Okay. In a column C, I'm going to put two bits of information. The initial value. So in this particular one, I'm going to pretend it's a brand new small car that is $26,000. So that's 26 with 3 zeros. Underneath, I'm going to give it the depreciation rate as 14%. 14%. Okay, they're very important pieces of information that we're going to use in our spreadsheet. Under the year column, under here, I'm going to use the numbers 1 through 10. So I'm going to have this vehicle depreciate over 10 years. Easiest way to do it, put the first two numbers in and highlight those two together. So highlight them together like I have. The little blue box comes up, get your little cross, left click and hold, drag until you have about 10. Let it go. All right. Now we have that's filled in. We didn't have to write the numbers 1 through 10 all at any time to save ourselves some time there. Under depreciation, so our first row of formulas is going to be a little bit different to our next row because we're going to use in the first row information from here. Every row after that will be the information from here. So let's do it. How do I start a formula again? Equals sign. Equals sign means, hey spreadsheet, I want you to do something. So we're going to start with our initial value. So you can just click up here for initial value. Okay. Actually, we don't want the initial value first. We actually want the depreciation rate first. So let's click in depreciation rate. We need to put that over 100 because we haven't made it a percentage yet. Put that over 100. Do our times sign. So we have our forward slash for our fraction bar for over 100. Star sign for our multiplication. And now we can choose our initial value. All right, so here we have our initial value. and how much that is going to depreciate in the first year. So 14% of that 26,000 is 3,640. So now we want to know the new value. We want that to happen together as well. So again, hey spreadsheet, I want you to do something for me. I'm going to take my initial value and subtract the depreciation amount. I'm going to hit enter, and now my car is worth 22,360. So you can just click into the cells that you need as you're using them in your formula. Now this one, again, this row 8, is going to use slightly different formulas, same basic process. Hey spreadsheet, I want you to do something for me, okay? And now I still want my depreciation rate over 100. That bit hasn't actually changed. I do my star, but now I want the new value. And the new value is this one here, okay? So we're using that one there. Now we hit enter, and now we have the new amount of depreciation. We can fill that down just like we have previously. Just click on that little bit there, and we are all good. Now you can see there's some errors coming up. Let's see if we can fix that up. So new cell C8 now. Hey spreadsheet, I want you to do something. All right, and I need to take this amount and subtract the depreciation amount. I hit enter, and now I'm good to go. Drag that down. Okay, we have something interesting there. Doesn't really want to. Okay, so what we might do is we might actually clean these out and start here. So what have we done here? Okay. Let's drag that down again and see what happens. Nope, so it still wants to do that same thing. All right, let's try this. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in, and you can do this too if you're having some issues. I'm going to put a $sign there. I'm going to put a $sign there and see what happens. So it doesn't change that value at all. Let's see what happens when I drag it down. Now I have some numbers. Okay, now I can drag this one down, and it's all now working. So there's a little hint for you. For that very first formula, add in some $signs here in between the C and the 3. So at the start, so from equals, $sign C, $sign 3. So as you can see, not always perfect, but there is a workaround. Now we can have a play around with all of these bits and pieces. So we're not going to change anything down here. What we are going to do though is let's change the rate of depreciation. Let's say it only depreciates at 8% every year. And if I hit enter, changes all my values. Okay, now I can make that even more so it depreciates at a higher rate. So let's say it's at 18 this time. Changes all my values. Okay, let's change the value of the vehicle. So I'm going to make the value of the vehicle $35,000. Again, changes all my values for me. So that makes it a little bit easier to use. Spreadsheets are wonderful things. Okay, continue having a bit of a play around with those two values as you are working throughout this spreadsheet, and have a bit of fun. Again, if something's not quite working, chuck a comment down below. We'll see if we can get it fixed for you. As you can see, sometimes it doesn't quite work out, but there's always a workaround. All right, have fun with that spreadsheet, and I'll see you in the next one.